All right, we're live or live. Joel.
You are? I know this is a very like, yo, we're here. Just dropped. What's up?
So,
Oh, let's go.
normally we like to do these recordings live
Yep.
on twitch.tv/UnitedWeNerd, like we do.
You were gonna tell me something because I am not aware. This is a live react recording. So there must be a good reason.
Joel, we talked a little bit before we started recording, and you said you had no idea what was going on, which is great because we get to see your live reaction to this. We get to see how you feel about this, and we're gonna take a trip down one of our favorite pastimes.
Oh no.
What the fuck is Twitch doing?
Like, is it like a McMahonism or is it worse? Is it like a Bobby Kotick? Like, what are we talking?
So we're recording this on Tuesday. If you're watching this on Thursday, we recorded this on Tuesday, and today Twitch just revealed their plans for their new policy changes for ad sponsorships.
Right.
So I pulled up the guidelines that they proposed. And pretty much I'm going to kind of do some clip notes and, just kind of give you general ideas of like what's happening, just because there's a lot of stuff that I don't want to like go through because it's going to be boring as fuck.
Yeah.
So basically what Twitch is said that they're planning on doing is they are going to make it pretty much almost impossible for streamers to have third-party sponsorships on Twitch. Yeah. So yeah, it's fucking goofy as shit.
What, Jeff Bezos gonna start giving us $1,000 per stream? Like what the fuck?
Only in your wildest dreams.
I mean, that was, I was holding my breath.
So recently, Twitch has been trying to find ways to, make more money, as you do as an Amazon company. So, we've already gone through like the whole thing of like them switching from a 70-30 to a 50-50, and capping off payouts at a certain percentage and stuff like that. So now they released these new guidelines that haven't gone into effect yet, but it's kind of showing their idea of how they want.
Can't wait to hear this already.
Us streamers to have ad sponsorships that are third party. So basically, with this proposed guideline change, streamers will no longer be able to have ad-sponsored brand logos on the stream, on your overlay. Well, actually, let me correct that. You can have it as long as it's at or under 3% of the screen size.
What the fuck? That's so specific.
That's ridiculous. Very specific. You can't have inserted or what they call burned in video ads. So you can't, like, I've seen for let's say for HelloFresh, not a sponsor, unless HelloFresh, you can kind of fucking throw us a bone a little bit. We're trying to be on your side. But let's say like, there's been a lot of streamers lately that have like a HelloFresh ad or something like that.
Yeah.
So part of the package is that they have to have a burned in kind of like video, like in their stream, to kind of show off. And it's like, okay, well now with this guideline, you can't do that.
It's dumb.
You can't have burned in display ads. So like having like a banner, like say, oh, get 20% off of like a fucking Manscaped subscription or whatever the fuck,
Unless it's
Raid Shadow
3% of the
Legends.
fucking screen, apparently.
Well, no, like you have like a big banner,
Yeah,
like on the
yeah.
top of bottom. Twitch will no longer allow those at all.
It's
According to
actually going to
this.
ban the game I'm playing.
And then inserted burn-in audio ads. So if you have an audio ad for a sponsor, you can't do those on Twitch anymore.
If I sponsor myself.
And then they kind of show examples of what they do allow still. That they're going to allow panels on the channel page, which is whatever. You're allowed to have the sponsored item in the background of the video or of your stream, right? You can have your, promotions in your promo codes like in the chat. So you can have like your chat bot, have the little promo in there. That's allowed. You can you can verbally discuss and endorse the product, and you can do unboxings of the product that you're sponsored by on the stream. And then you can play sponsored games on Twitch. So I've been kind of seeing other people's conversations. And I actually, before we started recording, I just finished watching Moist Critical's video about this. And he brought up a really good point. Normally with a sponsor package, if you're playing a game, normally comes with a banner. It comes with some kind of like burn-in, like ad of some kind on the stream. So those are no longer allowed. So how the fuck are you gonna do a video game ad, like a video game sponsorship on Twitch? Let alone, think about this. All the companies that stream their, tournaments, like your fighting game tournaments, you got your leagues, you got your, your Rocket Leagues and like X, Y, and Z game that has like a tournament that they stream on Twitch. They can't even put their own fucking ads on screen. Bro,
what the fuck is it? What?
This is so like let's say Joel, let's say for some reason like we were live recording a stream and all of a sudden like, hey,
me a headache.
we wanted to put an ad for our Stream Element store on fucking our on screen. We couldn't do that.
It's like 3% of the screen, right?
No. As long as
it's not a banner.
As long as it's an image. It's not a burned in video.
What the fuck are they thinking? What is this?
Bruh,
stupid as fuck.
It's so bad. It's egregious.
Like, you could promote the product but not put anything else about the product, and in the background, this is going to force people to be more creative too, and like you're going to lose a lot of revenue. Like this is like your biggest fucking thing. I mean, sure, there's other things they do, right? But I think gaming is like, isn't that probably one of the biggest things? I might be wrong. Now I'm dated now, right? I don't know. But like, don't you want people to promote the game with the right information? Like, sure, you can put it in chat, but that's not very exciting, right? I mean,
imagine like some of the streamers I watch, just name any streamer and then think like, oh, a big video game company is, contacting to do a sponsor stream. Let's just say, for example, the most recent thing, Street Fighter 6 came out. They've had streamers do sponsor streams, for Street Fighter 6. So imagine Capcom is coming to streamers like, oh, hello streamer, we would like for you to play Street Fighter 6 on your channel and, sponsor the game's release. And it's like, if these guidelines were implemented, you'd be like, oh, I'm sorry, I can play the game. I can't put any ads on the screen. No, it doesn't work that way.
You really want to like level the playing field for like someone just starting out. I guess that's good, but like you don't.
But no, even like the small streamers get like this is the one policy change that fucks over everybody. Because there's been like discrepancies, like partners get affected differently than affiliates, and like small streamers trying to build a way up. This affects everybody because even small streamers can still get sponsored ads, and it's even harder for them. It's even harder for small streamers to get sponsor ads because they kind of have to prove themselves more. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
I shouldn't say that, but it's like it's like
What the
how
fuck?
are you gonna get a sponsor to sponsor you by saying it's like, okay, I can sponsor your product. I can't really advertise it though. I could talk about it.
What is
I
this
can show
fucking logic?
if it's a physical product, I can show it.
Right, can I use the soundboard? Can I? What is this?
Does the soundboard even work?
Like, like what the? Like, come on. You know, Brian, remember how we were talking about Overwatch 2 and you made this noise? Yeah,
Many
that's
times.
what the fuck are you thinking? Who, like,
Big big money bags Twitch.
I guess when you have so much fucking money, you can make whatever stupid decision you want and just shoot yourself in the foot, I guess, like, and alienate
It's
some of your people who bring in the money. Like,
so
honestly, like, I guess what does that mean for us too? Like, if we were gonna get a sponsorship, I guess, like, or we can't
God forbid.
even
God
yeah,
forbid we want to sell one of our t-shirts, which by the way, they are on sale right now.
you could say it through audio though. We should
Can
just
say
put
it
it
through
every
audio.
time 1% of the screen. Right through there, right there. Yeah, right. Yeah,
So
that's
like
cool.
there's also a lot of
Fuck, I am like perplexed. It's just like a
yeah. And then like they have like a few other things that are kind of like no-brainers as far as like, types of products and shit like that. But really like the permitted and prohibited brand sponsorship format like section of the guidelines is
yeah.
goofy as fuck. And of course, um as the internet does, they vocalize how stupid this is. And then about 5 hours ago, Twitch posted on Twitter saying that, and I quote, today's branded content policy update was overly broad. This created confusion and frustration, and we apologize for that. We're sorry that we used too many big words. Um,
Really what they said?
no,
Oh,
that
thank
part,
God. I was like,
that,
oh my
that
God.
that last part was added by me. I should have said that. I'm
I
sorry,
was
but
like, God damn. Wait a
they continue for 3 more tweets. Um, quote: we do not intend to limit streamers' ability to enter into direct relationships with sponsors, and we understand that this is an important part of how streamers earn revenue. Duh.
You
We
sure? You sure about
Are you
that?
sure about that?
Sure
Are you
about
sure
that?
about that?
I didn't fucking know.
Quote: we wanted to clarify our existing ad policy that is intended to prohibit third-party ad networks from selling burned-in video and display ads on Twitch, which is consistent with other services. Other services, who? Not YouTube. From what I know, not Kick. You can definitely do it on social media. So, what services are they talking about? I'm confused. Their last tweet quote says, "We missed the mark with the policy language, and will rewrite the guidelines to be clearer. Thank you for sharing your concerns, and we appreciate the feedback. We'll notify the community once we have updated the language." So, hearing
I
that,
didn't
Joel,
exactly say no.
I just want to hear your reaction just after me reading that. Like, what does that sound like to you?
Like they're still gonna fucking do it. That's what it sounds like. And I'm wondering if it's some other big streaming service not in the United States, maybe that's a big competition, but I don't know how lucrative it is in other countries. I guess I could do some research, but it just seems like a really bad move, especially here. This seems like a really, really bad move. But I guess when you have a $3 trillion business, who gives a fuck? Whatever. Do whatever weird shit you want. Lex Luthor, the whole fucking thing. Whatever. I don't know. Fuck. I'm
Hold on.
so confused. Why?
It's 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 just hearing like seeing the wording of what they said is like, we're gonna change the wording. Like, to me, how I said before, it makes it sound like, oh, I'm sorry these words were too big. We're gonna change it
Yeah.
so you guys understand why we want more money. because
Ugh.
because not only going off of this, Twitch also said that they're gonna roll out in like a their own sponsor program so that you can get sponsors from Twitch so that they're okay. And also because Twitch can get money from that too. Isn't that great?
Uh, I
I just don't know like what the executives at Twitch are thinking really, you know.
who is there, like, what's the oversight on this? Like, who's in charge of this? Like, who's making that call?
I don't know. There's probably a room of these people. You know, it just confuses me because like you you're arguably the biggest, at least most popular streaming service or just streaming website, right?
Yeah.
And maybe this is just over the past few years, they just felt like they are like the kings of the castle and they can kind of change whatever they want, not realizing that if this policy goes through, this could literally kill them. Because, like they said, streamers and content creators kind of like earn the most money through sponsorships.
Mm-hmm.
So if Twitch is changing how sponsorships work on their service, doesn't mean that sponsors have to play ball. They could be like, nah, we want our product to be front and center. We'll go somewhere else.
That's what's gonna happen. I'm damn sure. I mean, I'm not a fucking business analyst, but it just makes sense. I don't fucking know. Like, what the I am. Like, that's me right there. Like, what is? I'm gonna have a field day with the soundboard, but just what the
It's goofy as fuck. I was not expecting to talk about Twitch blunders today, but I'm also kind of not surprised.
yeah, just what the okay.
Uh,
Thanks, Switch. I don't know if we'll be using you anymore if you actually go through with that. So, hey, do we have top three alternatives that we could just look at right now?
there's YouTube.
It's true. The tubes.
YouTube.com/@ United We Nerd.
It's true. I will say YouTube Shorts. I think more interaction with YouTube Shorts than I've ever gotten with like a Twitch clip. But I don't know. I'm a small time streamer, so
Yeah.
I don't have like shit on YouTube. So
and this isn't to say that, you know, people are gonna be leaving Twitch en masse.
right.
But I
Fiction.
wouldn't be surprised if if this policy goes through. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something similar to the kind of mass exodus of like the top streamers that we had like half a decade ago or so. Like, remember when a lot of the big fucking streamers started leaving to go to like either YouTube, Facebook, or you know, when Mixer was still around?
Damn, that's what I was trying to remember. I was like, what was the name of that other one that died? What was it called?
That decent streaming platform that that died too soon.
It wasn't bad. Like, honestly, for like exposure, like I probably ran into more people like just out of the blue on that than I did on Twitch. But I think it actually did the thing. But that's just me.
Yeah. I don't know. Twitch does what they do,
What the
and
fuck?
we'll just sit here watching the embers burn as the kindling crackles in the night.
What was that
Twitch.
other service you were using? What was it called for gaming? You
Oh,
played Titanfall on it, or maybe you played Assassin's Creed?
oh,
Blemish or something like
Glimish,
that.
Glimish, which is from what I
Still around?
remember, it's still around. From what I know, they're using pretty much similar tech to what Mixer was using. So who knows? Kick came around, and apparently Kick's doing pretty good. From all I know, I haven't
Kick?
been on the yeah, I haven't been on the site myself, but I've heard things about it. Um, who knows? We'll see what happens with that. I know YouTube isn't like, as far as features wise, isn't the best compared to
Oh,
Twitch, but it is the next biggest thing.
yeah.
So
I'll have to
who
check out
knows?
Kick.
We'll see about that. But yeah, had to kind of start the podcast off with that kind of stuff because
I guess so.
you can't not talk about that shit. That's kind of
I'm
ridiculous.
considering how much we've used Twitch over the past, fuck, I don't know, 10 years on and
Almost,
off.
yeah.
Yeah, almost a decade. And
On our own channels, on this channel.
gone to Twitch cons, like,
Yeah,
crazy.
I mean, sometimes things just don't last. And we'll see if Twitch can get their heads a little bit out of their ass, because it's in way deep. It's all up in there.
Seems like a Warner Brothers move, not gonna lie, but
Oh boy.
Discovery, Warner Brothers whispering in their ear.
Oh boy.
What the fuck do I know?
Mm,
I just watch and play. I don't make the decision.
yeah. So we'll keep tabs on that and see what happens. See what their rewording of the guidelines do.
Mm-hmm.
So moving that aside, Joel, what have you been up to? We've had a few weeks kind of off the podcast, but we've been doing some things.
Let's see. Yesterday, for those who know, Josh, he has his own campaign going with the Call of Cthulhu. I did that yesterday. For those who
Oh,
listen to the D&D roundtable, he's leading that, and basically we fought this Cthulhu beast poisoning the water. It was like a 2-session lead up, and there's like this giant like Cthulhu monster with tendrils hanging from the ceiling of a cave, had many hands and
ooh,
faces. One of our players
gross.
got eaten alive, and we threw dynamite at the
Oh,
monster.
bruh.
So I'll have to upload the pictures later on my Instagram. So we did that. Call of Cthulhu's cool.
So Call of Cthulhu, correct me if I'm wrong, that's an actual, like, it's its own game system. It's not like a D&D
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. It's basically you play like a paranormal investigator. There's like its own system and stats and stuff. It's similar to D&D, but not quite the same. You can roll for encounters. You have bonuses and stats and whatever. Where the push it mechanic and luck mechanic, I got it from that. It's in other games too.
Oh, okay.
I stole more things too that I really liked. I'm gonna put in my game. So yeah, so
Oh.
we did that. I played an investigator named LeBlanc. And he went crazy. He
LeBlanc.
was like shooting at his team for a second because the monster got in his mind. But he got
Oh,
away after we blew up the monster. So it's cool. If you want to check out something new and you play D&D, check out Call of Cthulhu. It's pretty cool.
nice.
Also, Josh used like what we did with Jameson. He had like a TV and the
Oh,
computer hooked up, so that we had like a virtual board.
nice.
That was pretty cool. And
Sick.
prior to that, though, I think a week ago we played D&D. It's been a minute. I did like a
Mm-hmm.
little mini refresher, and I had some old villains and villains from another
That was
campaign show
wild.
up. I did like a almost like a greatest hits version just to have us, just wet the whistle. We haven't played in a while. We've all been busy. Just have some fun and tear shit
Yeah,
up.
that, like, just from a player's perspective, that was like pretty neat. But I like, because it wasn't exactly the same. Like, they were, for, in essence, like the past like bosses we fought, but they were like kind of like a like shadowy corporeal kind of version of themselves, and we kind of had to deal with figuring out how the fuck do we touch them, because you do a physical attack, nothing happens, it just goes right through them.
Yeah. So I added like an extra step for those who are curious. Like
Yeah.
usually I don't know, I feel like I'm the junk food D&D player. Like I just have you guys go in and fuck shit up. But I was like, let me advance it. We've been playing for a bit. So they had to do something, then attack. So I had them fight these old two bosses. I had this, for those who know from The Witcher, a Leshen and a giant mantis they fought before. And then I had two characters actually I played come as ghosts and they fought them, for those who knew. Adam, if you ever listen, they fought for Tarticus, the ghost of Tarticus, my three
Yeah.
cream bug. And then they also fought my little gnome buddy. His name is Whizzle Bizzle. He was throwing like
Whistle
magic
Bill, that's
fire.
right.
He had the ghost of Adara like following him, like a stand. Like that's who killed him. So I had like them combined as the one to fight the team. They're pretty easy. And then the fun kicker, because someone mentioned it before, because I also do the Mass Effect campaign, is like, this character actually many years down the line is going to be a Mass Effect. And I was like, I like that idea. So I said, you're going to fight your past, present, and future. I brought in like Mass Effect creatures for them to fight, but like watered down versions, of course. They couldn't fight a
Oh,
Krogan. Not yet,
fucking
at least.
husks and shit.
Yeah. And I had like a modified version of a Lucent Hive show up for you guys, but you guys took care of that pretty quick. So yeah, we did that. Fanime happened. I haven't been in 4 years. I don't know if we talked
That's
about that
right.
recently, but
It was
you
our
and I went with my wife Sarah, and we went with Jameson and
Marcelo too.
yeah, Marcelo.
It was our first convention with the whole crew.
Yeah, your partner was there too. We met up with some other friends, Carla and Lisa, Diego, all of them. But yeah, I haven't been in a long time, and I masked up. I was happy to see everyone was masked up too, because as much as I like going to conventions, every time I went to a convention, I came back sick. So that was nice to come back from a
Even
convention.
before COVID, con crud was like a
Yeah,
thing.
con crud sucks. That was nice. It was cool to see, and we went on Sunday. Like the big cosplay events were the day before. We still saw, I don't know, I saw some great cosplays still, and of course the dealers hall and artist alley, great stuff. I picked up a Sinanju high grade. There's this great print of a shepherd I got, Jane Shepherd, and it was just, the art was so cool. It was stunning. I was like, I can't pass this up. We're getting it right now. Bought it right on the spot.
So
Couldn't let it go.
so I feel like I have a very, very common opinion, at least as far as like most cons artist alleys. But anybody out there that uh can get in touch with Fanime. I know it's kind of hard because you kind of have to work with the venue you got, but can we please just get a little bit more space in the artist alley? That shit is cramped as fuck, and like
it's been cramped ever since I've been going since 2013. It's been
it's
cramped
like
for like 10 years.
it's already bad enough trying to shuffle through people, but it's like we're we're kind of bigger dudes, so it's like makes it harder. But like I can't imagine someone who can't deal with being in tight and close spaces trying to go through artist alley, because I feel like there was so much cool shit to see, but because of how crowded it was, I didn't get a chance to see everything. You know what I
There were a
mean?
couple things I was blocked out from, and people were bumping into me, which is cool. But I'm glad I was like not in a like I kind of pride myself on making like a recycled cosplay, but I was like, I'm so glad I'm not in like a high profile expensive cosplay right now, because people like kept bumming into me in my upcycled shows. Like, damn, if this was not a recycled cardboard fucking warlock outfit based on a marathon thing, like y'all, I would be pissed. But
uh, yeah. So yeah, I just that's just my wish. Like, I think that's why I kind of like going to the dealers hall more, just because
it
there's so
was
much to
so
see in there,
spacious.
but it's so spacious and it felt so comfortable in there.
And at the busiest point of the day, like Artist Alley was jam packed, and we went back to Dealers Hall, and it still was
It
more
was a
than
breath
enough
of fresh
space.
air, dude.
And it was so stuffy in Artist Alley. Great art though. Thank you, artists, and of course dealers. It was great, and we also passed by the gaming arena or the arcade. That was pretty cool.
Yo, that
Uh,
that place was
it had,
popping.
That's more than I've ever seen before. Usually
No,
they
me
had like
too.
tables and stuff, and they had a couple tournaments, but they had some game I didn't recognize, but people were really engaged in watching. I was like, oh, it's cool. And then
So
they had League of Legends too on the big screen with two
when we
people
were there,
commenting.
yeah, that was wild because I haven't seen that before.
Yeah,
Because there's been fighting game tournaments at Fanime every year, right?
yeah, yeah,
But now they have upgraded, so now there's actually like kind of like a stage where the
yeah.
players can play. So it's like an actual like if you're going to like fucking Evo or something like that. It's like, I mean, it's not fancy though because it's just risers, but still, like the two players are on a stage with a big screen, so everybody can see, and they're playing Guilty Gear 5, like the
It
newest
was.
Guilty Gear
Thank you.
game. Yeah, people were fucking popping off for that. It
Excuse me.
like if you've never seen like a fighting game tournament before, there's like this infectious energy when like someone like there's a very competitive fight and then somebody just like kind of gets to the upper hand and like starts doing this crazy ass combo and everybody in the crowd just like, yeah, let's go.
What was happening?
But yeah, and like you said, they had a league tournament there and they actually had like commentators doing like live
Yeah, that
commentating,
was cool.
which is sick. um and of course they have like the tabletop areas
They
and kind
did.
of like the game rental areas. And they even had an arcade,
Hmm.
which I guess to give an example, like they rent all their arcade systems out from this one company that gets a lot of Japanese imports, right? So you have a lot of like the rhythm games and like the DDRs and stuff like that. But on the corner of my eye, I caught a Soul Calibur 2 cabinet, and I was like, Joel, we gotta play.
We
And
did.
we did.
This guy was in front of us, and him and his son played. And the guy there on the left seat, he said he hadn't been playing for long, but he beat them, right? And so we were next in line. Brian went first. He was using Keelik, and our buddy Fernando was like, I was telling him about the story. He's like, man, fuck that guy. Keelik is just fucking. He was just talking shit about Keelik users, but the guy there, he was pretty good as Keelik too. But
He
yeah,
was
it's been a
really
while.
good.
It was with the fight stick too. It wasn't like a controller.
That was
So for
a
me, I was like,
arcade cabinet straight from Japan.
yeah.
Still had the yen sign on it.
Yeah, yeah. So that was
Super
cool.
legit.
We both took on the same guy. You
You
used
did you
Nightmare, right? And who else did you use?
I used Nightmare both times.
I
Both
used Nightmare
sets I
both
used
times. Yeah.
Nightmare. You were actually doing a lot better than
Tsurugi,
me. You did Mitsurugi and then Yoshimitsu.
Yoshimitsu. That actually got me a win, I think. It
That
was
got you actual
Yoshimitsu.
win.
Yeah, the guy, yeah, he was kicking my ass. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna use Yoshimitsu and just fuck around. He beat me though 2-1, but that was still good. He was good, but yeah, it was just like, damn, I'm rusty. Yeah, anime was pretty fun, I'd say, all in all. And you found good parking. The usual spot we go to is like, I don't know, 10 to sometimes feels like 20-minute walk away. We were just behind
It's
the
like
convention
5 blocks
center.
like
Yeah,
east and shit like that. But yeah, like literally right next to the convention center. Primo parking.
yeah, and it was for Sunday. It was still like kind of open. When we came back to we were leaving. I was like, oh, that's nice. So yeah, and Marcelo gave the parking ticket to someone who was incoming, so that was really nice. Yeah,
Marcel's such the sweetest person.
yeah. Sweet, sweet, sweet boy Marcelo.
I guess before you continue, I guess this would be a perfect time to announce actually on the podcast that, we went to our first convention as a group.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
So it's only fitting to announce that all three of us are be going to PAX West this year.
Ooh, yep.
So
So I paid
anybody
myself for
listening,
my plane ticket.
if you see us at PAX West, come say hi.
Hell yeah, we'll be there. Pacific Northwest. We've gone at separate times, or like I went with you and everyone else. I think Marcelo went another time, but we haven't gone all together. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong. But
So I know Marcelo's been to PAX East.
that's what it is. He's been to PAX East.
We both went 2 years ago. No, yeah, 2 years. No, we went before COVID, so we went 2019.
2019. Yeah.
I went last year.
Yeah.
But this year, the trifecta is coming to Seattle.
Woo, let's do it.
Locked and loaded. And I was kind of worried too because for those of you that have never been to PAX, usually how the ticket sales go is that they kind of just shadow drop the tickets as a way to kind of just like, fight the scalpers off. This year they actually announce the day they're going on sale, which is kind of weird. So it was a little bit of touch and go for a little bit. We were kind of worried that shit wasn't going to go down, but we got it. We're locked in.
Hell yeah.
It's good. Dude, I can't wait. Like we had so much fun in 2019.
We did.
Like, and this year seems like it's going to be such like a crazy year. Like Summer Game Fest is happening this Thursday. You know, we're getting a lot of the press conferences and like little virtual events now. There's going to be so many games announced that will maybe be cool, and we'll probably get to get our hands on later this year.
Hell yeah.
It's going to be fun. I love PAX.
When we went, it was pretty cool for me. Going first time, I'm getting to play some of the Shadowkeep stuff for the first time since I'm a big Destiny kid. I remember using that sniper rifle, playing a Crucible match on Widow's Court or whatever. That was it was on a PlayStation though. It wasn't my element 100%, but hey, I still did. It was fun.
That's okay. At least your PlayStation controller worked. Mine didn't, so I had to try playing on mouse and keyboard, and that shit was confusing. Being somebody that played Destiny on Xbox only.
Yeah,
that shit was confusing as fuck.
And you could do too. Ben reminded me before, he's like, you could check out your collections right before we leave. I was like, oh shit, look at the new exotics. And then the Xenophage was there. It's like, what the fuck is this? So that was pretty cool. I don't know if they'll have more fun Destiny stuff. Oh, they probably will actually, because Final Shape next year.
So that's gonna be interesting because they are gonna be having their like big presentation in August, but because of like COVID changing the release date for the Witch Queen, they weren't there last year.
Oh, that's true.
So I don't know if they'll maybe pop in.
Maybe it'll be for Marathon. They're hyping that back up again. So.
Oh, possibly have a Marathon booth. That'd be sick.
Shout out to the guy who recognized my cosplay. He's like, are you something from Marathon? I was like, no, well, sort of. I was a warlock wearing Marathon stuff brought into Destiny 2. Well, actually, a bit of a warlock myself. But yeah, conventions. It's been a while and it's time. And I'm going to fucking mask up for sure. Last time I was overwhelmed, not going to lie. I was like, this is too many people. But I think I know what to expect this time. So anime has always been a lot, but I guess it's different. I don't know. Last time I was like, whoa.
I think it's just because they've now kind of, with the renovations and stuff, they kind of figured out their space.
Yeah.
A little bit better. But yeah, from what I remember last year, PAX actually did a pretty good job. It was kind of weird because you kind of had to go a few blocks to like the Marriott to like, check in with like, all the COVID procedures and shit like that. So that was kind of weird, but yeah, I think once you get in there and you're just surrounded by all like these cool ass games and stuff, it's just like business as usual. Like everybody's following the rules and shit and being safe.
And you mentioned having something in common. Well, I just want to segue to Kamen Rider because we saw that shit.
Bruh.
And you know what's crazy is, for a little bit of backstory, for Shin Ultraman, because of the pandemic, it took forever to get here in the States. And I was like, wait, come on. I know it's out there. Japan loves it. Bring it here. It took forever. And with Shin Kamen Rider, they're like, yo, the Converge event, only 1 day a week. I saw an ad on Instagram. Like, I was like, boom. I was like, oh shit, that's this month. Like that snuck up on me. I wasn't paying attention to it or looking for it though. But still, we saw Kamen Rider, Shin Kamen Rider, same creator of Shin Ultraman and Shin Godzilla. I loved the previous two, really loved Shin Ultraman and Shin Kamen Rider. I had a kind of idea, what's going on. I'm familiar with Kamen Rider, villain of the week, suits up, kicks ass. And the first 5 minutes, we went with our partners. They were laughing hell hard, as were we, because it was a joy. The movie was a joy. Literally, it's action-packed goodness. And
oh yeah,
I was blown away.
It's tokusatsu at its finest.
Hell yeah, that like, couldn't say it better myself.
It has the grittiness of like what the Shin series has been, but it still does a good job of like celebrating the campiness of like the mid-70s like Japanese tokusatsu shows.
So fucking campy, goofy series. There's a literal mild spoiler. If you don't want to know the spoilers for Shin Kamen Rider, mute me. I don't know, for a minute. But if you don't care. Spoilers for Shin Kamen Rider. There's this fucking guy who's half bat, and they don't even. I feel like the CG did not go to this scene. He was like half flying. The wings were really badly put on. And he's talking, but it was it was still a great scene. But I was just like,
Oh, it's
whoa.
fantastic.
And they showed how powerful he was too, like the power he had to kill all these people he set up. And then, of course, Kamen Rider's like, I'm going to kick you in the fucking sky with my sick bike. And he does. So, yeah, spoilers over now. Yeah, it was fucking amazing. I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I was like, it's dope. It was really dope. And
It
it
was
was
so much
cool,
fun.
which they didn't do for Shin Ultraman. I guess it's kind of a spoiler too, but they did like a side by side of the scenes they stole. They honored
They
from the
reshot.
original, yeah, and did for the new one, which I thought was really cool. It's like, hey, you
It
can
was
see
really
the
neat.
comparison, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. Like, there's a scene where all these enemies use their stabs. The old one, and they did it with the new one. They showed them like jumping in the air hella high, and like the little camera angle they do for like the 70s. It's like, oh, that's really cool. The
So,
special effects they used back then. Oh man.
mhm. So Joel, riding off the hype of Shin Kamen Rider,
Oh man, it's so
I have
hype.
dipped in finally. I've been wanting to for like at least like the past 2 years. I've started dipping in. I've been finding ways to watch Kamen Rider shows, right?
Oh, dude, that was like your excuse right there. You are in
That was
now.
my
You can go
excuse.
in. You
So
got the all clear.
so I found out that Amazon Prime Video has some Kamen Rider shows.
Oh,
But
nice.
they get most of their stuff from what was it? Shout. It's like Shout TV. Has a lot of Shout Factory. It's the company that like produces a lot of like the Blu-rays and stuff for kind of like shows like Ultraman and other stuff and other like tokusatsu shit and just like other kind of
Yeah.
like older movies and stuff like that. Well
Look that up. I
apparently
didn't know that.
they have a website where you can just watch episodes.
Oh,
Like
nice.
there's like some ad breaks in there, but it's like they have Joel, you would love this. They have a shit ton of Ultraman.
Hell yeah. All right.
Um
I'm in.
they
All
have
right.
super
We're
they
done.
have like
Bye, everyone.
Super Sentai. They have some Kamen Riders. So it's like, all right. On like Sundays, like, all right, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna like actually start, dipping my toes in. So I started out with their most recent series, Kamen Rider Black Sun.
Oh, I've heard good things about it because Kamen Rider Black was supposed to be like really cool, edgy, and like they've done a lot of odes to that too. I heard it's hot.
Yeah.
It's hot right now.
So Kamen Rider Black was just like their first like Showa era like Kamen Rider. And it was kind of like a return of like, Kamen Rider like as like a classic series. And so this is like the remake of that for like the 50th anniversary, right?
Damn, 50 years. Shit.
Yeah, and bruh, this is darker than Shin Kamen Rider.
Oh no.
I don't
Shin
want
Kamen
to.
Rider's pretty dark.
So this one has a lot of like very like politically charged kind of like commentary
We live in now.
because it's like so it's a world where there are humans and then there are humanoid kaijus called kaijins, right? And so they're like these people that have like kaiju-esque bodies. Like there's like bird people and there's like lizard people and stuff like that. um the transformations for the show are like wild because it's not so much of like the Kamen Riders like wearing armor. It's more like this kind of like organic like materials like encompassing them and like they're becoming the Kamen Rider and like the people that are kaijins like Trent like kind of like burst out of their well, they don't like burst but like they melt out of their skin to like become like their kaiju form,
That was pretty
and
cool.
boy does it get violent. Holy shit. Like this is the one little thing I'm gonna spoil.
Fucking violent. Holy shit.
There's like one little thing I'm gonna spoil. There is a moment where a Kamen Rider literally bites someone's hip and rips them in half.
Holy shit.
And you see it happen. It's not like a pan off screen and stuff. He's like, "Rah!" And fucking this person
That's
rips
awesome.
in half.
All right,
Boy.
give me an excuse to cosplay some Kamen Riders. Let's go.
Boy. Um And as a palate cleanser, I kind of dipped into a more campier Kamen Rider series, Kamen Rider 01, which I've heard that is a very popular one. It came out like a year or so ago. It's more recent. It's about a wannabe comedian, Aruto. He wants to make people laugh. That's his dream in life.
Hmm.
But the thing is, he's not a great comedian, right?
That's funny.
And it turns out, his grandpa, who owns like this big like this AI like humanoid robotics company, passes away, and then he inherits the company, right?
Yeah.
Little did they know, the biggest project they're building is the Kamen Rider 01 like gear, right?
Yeah.
And so basically he ends up inheriting like the Kamen Rider thing. So he has to like,
Iron
save the
Man.
day, this whole instead of like kaiju monsters, this whole thing is based around like the world has created like these AI humanoid robots that were made to like it's kind of like a lightweight Detroit Become Human kind of thing,
Yeah.
where like they were built to like to serve people, but then they're kind of starting to develop like more human aspects of themselves, and like they're
Yeah.
becoming more just like personable and stuff like that. And then there's this evil group that is installing viruses onto these people so that they would kill humans. And so it's like they're kind of using the robots to kind of like kill humanity.
Hmm.
And so the common writer he has to figure out like what to do. And of course there's other common writers that are part of like the super police force and stuff like that. So it's kind of like they're kind of working together, but like they still have like they butting heads because he's like the president of this big company that makes
Okay.
these robots. And of course he sees them in a different light because he believes that they can bring people happiness, right? So it's kind of like a
Sounds
conflicting
familiar.
issue.
I
Yeah.
just want to say 01 suit looks pretty sick.
It
Pretty
looks
sick.
it looks sick. The henshin transformations are fucking top notch because it's like some of like the peak Kamen Rider shit where it's like they'll transform, they have their gadgets that they have to fucking slide in and like twist around
Yeah,
and
yeah.
activate. And then the whole activation sequence has like some dialogue that's said like in an omnipresent voice, and
Nice.
so it's like, oh, this is like peak Kamen Rider goodness. And I was having such a blast that I literally bought the Blu-ray set of the entire series, and I just got it yesterday. So I'm going
Nice.
to continue watching it on there. And I found out that there was a Kamen Rider game that was released in Japan like a year or so ago, and it had English subtitles. So I bought it, and I'm getting it next week. And I'm going to be
Oh,
playing fucking
nice.
Kamen Rider on my PS5, and it has people from Kamen Rider Double, Kamen Rider 000, and then Kamen Rider 01. Um, and I'm fucking excited. I am just in Kamen Rider mode right
What was the
now, and I'm
game called?
enjoying it. It was called, what was it called? It was Common
The Memory of Heroes.
Memory
That's
of
what.
Heroes is
It's the
the
first one that
one.
popped up when I just
Yeah,
typed in Common Writer game.
it's Kamen Rider Memory of Heroes, and just like in the show, they have all the different Kamen Rider forums, and they have all the henshins that do all the stuff and have the goofy ass fucking voice
Nice.
lines and shit like that, and it looks super fun.
It's on
Um,
PS4 too. Damn, I might
on
have to.
PS4.
I might have to buy one more thing for this PS4.
But yeah, dude, I
Cool.
after watching Shin Kamen Rider, I'm just like 100%.
You're all in.
I'm all in. I'm living. I'm feeding.
I actually saw the one of the characters on the cover of the game. Someone cosplayed him at Fanime. So yeah, the guy who's
Wait, which
half
one?
black, half green. I don't know which one that
Oh, that's
is.
Kamen Rider Double.
Oh, nice,
So I've been learning some lore, right? I've been trying to
nice.
catch up. I've been trying to be
Damn,
knowledgeable.
he's in.
Do you want to know what the thing is about Kamen Rider Double?
Sure. Let's all learn together today.
So Kamen Rider Double is pretty much like the fusion of like what fusion is to Dragon Ball is this is the Kamen Rider. So correct me, like I could be wrong. I'm trying to remember off base, but I think like two brothers or like two friends or something like that. They both are Kamen Rider Double. So basically what happens is one person henshins they have like these two like little like cartridges that they have. The other person gives it to the other common writer and it clicks it in and basically takes like their spirit out of their body into them when they become the common writer. So it's like it's kind of like having two personalities in common writer, so like they can have conversations in their head. But then there's henshins where they transform and they basically become like the fusion, and so like they're both talking at the same time. They're both present at the same time, and it's like, oh shit, this
Some
is
Moon Knight
goofy,
shit.
and I love it.
Sounds fun, honestly.
It's great. I don't know why it took me this long to finally get into it, but like now that I'm in, I'm not leaving. I'm here to stay.
Typed it in for Xbox. It says 2 games that are like Kamen Rider for Xbox.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah. Oh wait, where's it? Where's it? Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. So we saw Shin Kamen Rider, and we were delighted. I think, you know, the group we saw was good too. Like I was like, holy shit! A couple of moments, I was like, I thought we were just gonna get some like Power Ranger-esque movie, you know, with my lack of knowledge. It's like, all right, let's have a good time. We're out, and I got way more than I asked for, and I'm happy. So,
What was it? Well, we were talking like we're literally right before the movie started. We're like,
yeah.
okay, what do you think the kill count's gonna be on this? Like, I say like maybe 2. It literally, like the beginning of the movie,
2 minutes in,
he like murders a group of people. It's like, oh shit, okay.
I mean, it's not straight murder. It is some self-defense, but
It's
he over.
self-defense, but
If just go see it. It's you're listening to us. You got to watch Shin Kamen Rider.
I don't know if it's
You
in
watch
theaters
Shin
anymore,
Godzilla,
but
Shin Ultraman, Shin Kamen Rider's next on the list. You got to do it.
there's ways to find it. You guys can find it.
Oh man. And of course, with that, Friday in our big group, as we usually do, I'm just gonna say it real quick though. Fuck Tanforan again. Not the
Bruh.
person's fault who booked it for us. It's just how it happened. The AC or the air circulation just wasn't there. We had like a bunch of kids on their phones the whole time. The crowd was awful, honestly. This one guy sitting near you, or if not next to you, was taking fucking pictures with a bright ass flash. Like, come on.
I'm gonna go off now. I'm gonna have my Marcelo moment right now. Okay.
Do it. Go.
This is the last time I want to go to the Tanforan Century Theater. No issue with the staff. The staff are usually pretty chill and pretty nice. Yeah. But like you said, the theater experience has been pretty shit when we've gone there, and pretty much only there. I cannot tell you. So there was this group next to us in the aisle, right? I think they're kind of doing like a 2-row thing. So like the younger ones were in the front and then there's someone in the back. There was this dude literally texting like the entire time, but the fucking thing is that he had like the flash notification on his phone. So literally throughout the movie, we'd see a flash come up from behind him. And then the person in front of him was just taking pictures of the movie. And it's like, bruh, you have the flash on. We're in a dark ass theater. If you're going to take pictures, fine. Just turn off the flash. It's not that hard.
Twice. Like, he did it fucking twice.
No, he did it more than twice, bro.
I saw it twice. Second time, I literally said out loud, bruh, hella loud. And a couple people laughed. And I was like, I was about to go fucking ape shit if he did it again. I was like, bruh, we're going to fucking do our own Spider-Verse in the fucking hallway in a second. All right? You're going to be Uncle Ben. Like, this motherfucker.
But no, dude, like, the movie was great. The movie was fantastic.
I was going to segue to the movie. We'll get to that. But yeah, the audience was ass. The audience was ass.
This is the perfect example of why maybe the theater should have just died. Maybe it should have just died. If you're gonna get experience like this, you know, I would pay the extra money to go to Alamo just because I know if this shit would happen, these people would be kicked out immediately. Like they would do something about it. Like I would rather spend more money to have a better experience at a movie now. Like I can't anymore. Tanforan, you're done. Like I'm sorry, you're a local icon, but your time's done. You're gone.
If
My
you were
God.
there that Friday when Spider-Verse came out, San Fran, you were in our venue and you were taking pictures, fuck you. Fuck you if you were texting too. Fuck
Mm.
off. Like, why are you there if you're gonna be on Instagram the whole fucking time? Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm an old man. Am I an old man now? You know, am I but you
No,
know.
no, you're just a courteous person. You
Yeah. I
you
don't even
like to
like being talked to during my movie. That's how I am. I'm like, don't even fuck. I'm that guy. I get annoyed if someone's like, I used to be that
no,
person too. I was an awful moviegoer too, but now I'm like, I'm that person. I'm like, I don't want to hear shit.
no,
Don't talk
that's
to
what
me.
that's why I think like us sitting next to each other is great. And that's why our partners like sat like next to each other because they like to like our partners love to talk during a
Yeah,
movie. And we have the same wavelength. Like if we're going to a movie that we want to see, so we
yeah,
want to pay as much attention as we can on it.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
not every movie is Morbius where we're like we just give up.
So
Like
I
we
fell asleep, and Marcel's on his phone. I fell asleep. I was playing with the chair the first like
yeah.
10 minutes. I was ugh.
So it's like this is like Spider-Verse. We're going there, we want to see it, and there's people that are fucking up the experience.
Yeah.
But
Horrible viewing experience. But let's move away from that. The fucking
but
movie, we'll have to do a whole episode on. It was spectacular. As
yeah.
far as a standalone, like if you look at it as just a movie, there's a lot of strength to it. I can see how people would be very confused. As a sequel, fucking S plus, honestly. I mean, I'm biased.
Mm,
I love Spider-Man. I love all the Spider-Men, Spider-Women, Spider-People, Spider characters, villains, the reveals, the spoilers, the secrets, everything. I mean, I'm still thinking about that one moment. I don't want to spoil it. I was cackling. Like I'm still thinking about it. There's one key moment, and it's just it's not even a key moment. It's like a throwaway. And I'm just like, oh my god, they did that. And it's
well
so
here.
smart. Oh my god,
Well
it's
here. We don't have to go fully into it, but I'm just gonna say right now, if you haven't seen Spider-Verse,
Spider
you know,
Suit.
like clue out for a little bit, maybe put this podcast on mute if you're watching in a video. When the spoiler logo goes away, you can kind of clue back in or just pause the podcast, go watch the movie. Because if you don't see this in theaters, I honestly think you're gonna regret it because this is kind of a movie that you have to watch in theaters. So with that being said, the spoiler logo is on the screen now. Joel, what made you cackle so much?
So the old Spider-Man from the old cartoon is there. He's trying to
Yeah.
stop Miles, and he's just like, I can do anything he can do. And he's like in 2D too, and he fucking misses. And he's like, oh no. I don't know. I was fucking dying. Like, I don't, that just was to me like
Is
the fucking funniest thing. One of the funniest. I'm crying, dog. Like that shit got me. Like that's not the only thing. There's other great, funny fucking.
so
Oh, it's so good.
so you brought up that reference. I want to bring up this one that happened because we got to see the oldest version of animated Spider-Man come in for a second. But something that caught me off guard in like the coolest way possible is that they actually had, for people that love the Spider-Man animated series, they had Spectacular Spider-Man, the Spectacular Spider-Man animated series version, come in
Yeah,
and actually they had the actual voice actor come back in to do a line and had a speaking role in the movie, and that was so cool because
really cool.
a lot of people would say that it's one of the best modern like Spider-Man animated series that got canceled way too early.
Yeah,
And so it was really cool that Sony actually gave him like a shout out with this like little tiny like cameo
yeah.
appearance. So that was a really cool cameo. Uh one thing, speaking of, I guess not really cameo, but something that we kind of learned in the after like the after
Yeah.
viewing is that there's a scene where Miles goes back to his dorm and his roommate Genki is playing on his PlayStation. And like you can see that he's playing Spider-Man, right? It's like, oh sick, he's playing PS4 Spider-Man. Turns out it was confirmed earlier this, or actually I think yesterday, that
Yep.
In fact, that was Spider-Man being played, but it was actually new game footage of the Spider-Man 2. But it's so small that from a distance you can't fucking tell.
Yeah.
But they confirmed that it's actual new gameplay from Spider-Man 2 that hasn't been shown yet. And it's like,
So
fuck.
funny.
And we can't, there's no like Blu-ray digital, so we can't go back. We have to go back to the theater and watch it again.
I'm probably going to, honestly, because of that viewing experience. But it was, what a fucking ride. It was so good. Like, that's how good it was. Like, the viewing experience was so bad, but the movie was so fucking strong. Again, by a Spider-Man fan. By Spider-Man fans, right?
Yeah.
But it was so, we were blown. Like, it wasn't just us. Like, everyone we went was like, yeah, that was shit. But the movie, like, the movie was like,
it's like the viewing experience was so shitty, but the movie was so good that it leveled it out a little bit.
yeah.
Like it was still worth it to go see the movie on Friday.
Oh yeah, yeah. Um, I can't wait to see how they wrap it up. And there's I want to save this. I'm gonna just hint at it. The ending was of the twist of. I just want to save that. I'm gonna let that sit in the air. I'm not gonna touch it. It was I was like, wow, that's really cool. It's something I wasn't expecting, and
it was
really cool to see.
It was a legitimate nice twist, which is
Yeah.
fantastic. And I know Marcelo is a little busy. He's traveling the country right now for work, so he won't be able to pop in for a little bit. But when we can get a hold of him, we're definitely going to do like a full deep dive into this movie because it has to be something that we can all kind of just sit down and talk about.
Yeah. So good. So good. But yeah, that was it. I'm just other than that, playing Destiny, more Breath of the Wild. Like I said, I played with D&D with Josh the other day. Getting ready for my trip out of the country.
Oh yeah.
I've been out of the country in 7-8 years. So going to the Philippines for the first time. So for 2 weeks I'll be out of here. But you guys can do something in the meantime. But
yeah, we'll figure out something.
Yeah. Or
that's really cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye out for like imported shit you can't usually find here. I'm gonna at the airport. I'm gonna be like, all right, where's the Gundam booth? Where's the Kamen Rider booth? Let's fucking go. I'm in Asia. It's closer. Let's fucking go.
That's true.
But yeah, and Seoul for like a couple hours too for the layovers. That'll be cool. Maybe they'll have something cool at the Korean airport. But yeah,
dude, get some fucking Korean food, dude.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, for the first layover, we might not have enough time, but the second one, yeah, we're there for a minute. So,
hell yeah.
But yeah, that's about it. I think just summer's almost upon me, so I'm almost done with work for like a couple months, and that'll be nice. Get to play some games. I guess I'll stream God of War on Twitch still, but dive into Valhalla because I know Mirage is coming out soon too. I've been ignoring that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
You gave me Shadow of Mordor. I've been ignoring that too. I'm just backlogged again as usual. I blame Breath of the Wild. I mean, Tears of the Kingdom.
Hey, summer's a perfect time for backlog.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. But what about you, Brian? I know we had some overlap. Anything else that you want to fill us in with? What you've been up to?
Yeah, there's some things. I've been trucking along in Tears of the Kingdom. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I finally got through my second temple. I went to the fire temple, so I went to the Goron place.
Only done the water temple.
I like the Gorons. I think as far as like the races in Zelda, they're probably like one of my favorites. Just like these big rock people. They're just fun. The encounter for the fire temple I fucking got sick of by the time I finally beat it. It was still interesting. I won't rate them yet just because I haven't seen the other two. So I'm holding judgment until I fight the desert one and the water one. So I'm holding judgment. But I've just been adventuring, making stupid shit, finding new secrets. Yesterday I did actually capture Zelda's horse.
Nice.
So I have the golden horse.
Didn't even know that was possible. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for that.
They did something similar to that in Breath of the Wild. It wasn't the same horse though, but they kind of did something similar. It's like, oh, it's it's a special horse you can go find. It's like, oh, okay, I'll go look for it. And I found it. I thought I almost lost it because right when I was about to try to like mount it and like tame it, a bokoblin comes up and fucking spikes me off of the horse. I'm like, no, but
And
But it turns out I just got it. Like right before I got hit, I got the horse. Like, okay,
nice.
so it's not gonna run away from me. Cool. Sick.
Nice. Fuck that
Um,
goblin up.
it's a fast horse too.
Nice.
It has like I think it's like a 4-star in speed. It's like, whoo.
Nice. Still got a 2-star horse. I gotta upgrade my horse.
Yeah, dude. Like I was like, all right, I'm sticking with this horse. I'm gallivanting all the way through Hyrule with this shit. But yeah, I
Where's
just
that
been
motorcycle though?
well, I mean, you could probably make a motorcycle
I
now.
know. Yeah.
But yeah, I just been taking my time like I did with Breath of the Wild. I'm exploring, I'm experimenting a lot. So I'm just kind of it's definitely like my okay, I'm just going to like chill out. I'm going to, put my Switch in handheld mode and I'm just going to like chill on the couch, enjoy the nice summer breeze and just chill. Um I already said talk about the common rare stuff, so I won't talk about that. Let's see. What other games have I been playing? There's a new season of Marvel Snap that just started, and it's all Spider Verse themed. So they released Spider Gwen. So that's a cool new thing, and there's a lot of good art because I'll give Marvel Snap this. Their variants for their cards are all really cool and interesting. They've had like 4 other versions of Miles, but like this, they have a new one for this season, and it still looks sick as fuck. So I'm gonna be grinding out trying to get those cards. Try to build up my Spider-Man collection. Um. Oh, so I speaking of D&D stuff or just tabletop gaming stuff, I recently stumbled upon a new game system. It's not. I mean, it's not new relatively. It's new to me. Called the Cypher System. Uh, the Cypher System was created by Monty Cook and a few other people. For a lot of people in the like tabletop, D&D like fandom, like Monty Cook is like a legend considered, and so he and a bunch of other people like made like a brand new system a few years ago, and they just recently came out with like just the standard like Cypher System book. That's just the system itself, and I ended up buying it, and I've been reading through it because I'm trying like I've talked about this before, but I'm trying to build a Devil May Cry like
Yeah.
D&D campaign, and after reading Cypher System, I think I'm gonna turn it into a Cypher System game
Nice.
instead of D&D. It's very interesting. I kind of want to get some of us together and try to like do like a little test drive of it,
Good.
just kind of
Do
flesh
it.
it out. But I guess to kind of explain like what the Cypher System is, it's a very more simplistic like D&D. There's like only 3 stats in the game. Each stat has a different value depending on your character. The character building I think is really cool because it's not really like stat based. It's more of like how you describe what your character is. So it's like in like the rule book it said like the example is like okay, so like in the character creation sheet it's like it's like you fill out a sentence. So it's like so like they said like okay, think of like an objective, a noun and a verb, and like that's your character. And then they have like 4 I put 3
It's
or
kind of Mad Libsy. That's cool though. You
a
could
little
work with
bit.
that.
It's it's so more so like the player can actually like mold their character more to like customize them the way they kind of want. So there's 4 archetypes, right? There's like warrior, adept. Um, there is a survivor or like a scavenger, and then there's a um I am blanking on the other name, but it's like kind of like the bards and like the kind of like spellcasters kind of deal, like the more of like
Yeah.
the charisma based classes.
Mhm.
But instead of like how D&D has like a very strict like class category, this one
Yeah.
is like a or more broad. So like, okay, warrior. So like, what's a warrior? Like, it could be like a barbarian, it could be a soldier, it could be a fighter, it could be a monk, it could be like whatever like does like physical combat. You know, it doesn't have to be a big yoked like barbarian dude. It could be like
Yeah. Yeah.
it could be it could even be like a paladin. Like it could be someone who also kind of has some like spell casting abilities, but it's like melee focused, right? Um, so
As
you could
well.
so like you take those and then you basically have your three stats, and of course, based on how you describe what your character is, like be let's say like, oh, you know, I'm a daring warrior who, you know, has a tendency to, you know, overthink things, you know.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, so you could be a warrior that is, you know, has a high like might stat and a high speed stat, but then because like, oh, they like to overthink things a lot, maybe their intellect is like is like less because they overthink things so they get in their own head. And so literally how your character is created and developed is based on how you describe what your character is. And I
That
thought it was
simplifies it. That's
it
nice.
simplifies it, and it seems more fun. And the very interesting thing about the Cypher system is that the DM or the GM doesn't roll dice.
Interesting.
All the dice rolls are done by the player. And how that works is that, let's say there's like the player wants to do something. Like, let's say it's like, oh, I want to search this box, and and then so the GM will assign a difficulty level, like what, like 0 through 10. It's like, okay, let's say, okay, you know, there's a lock on this box, but it looks kind of rusty. It's a, you know, it's a difficulty 2. It's like, all right, so basically what you do from there is that you take 2 and you times it by 3. So the player has to roll a 6 or higher to succeed. And then of course the higher you go, the more difficult it gets. But basically, like if you try to roll a 10, you know, that's a 30 and that's like impossible, you know. But what the player does is that they have a pool for every stat. They have a pool that matches what their value is. And basically what they can do is that they can take the amount from the pool, like let's say they want to put extra effort into, let's say, they want to attack an enemy, but the enemy is like a difficulty of like 5, so they have to roll 15 or higher. Okay, well, you know, my might's not that strong, so I want to try to like, you know, I want to try to make this roll better in my advantage, so I'll put an extra effort. So you like take 3 away from your pool, and it decreases the level by 1. So like, okay, instead of like a 15, now you know, I only have to roll like a 10 or a 12 or whatever, you know, a lower number.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, your pool is also your health. So each stat has its own individual pool. And so if one pool gets depleted, um, the the character gets hindered. It's like, okay, well, you know, your rolls are going to start to weaken a little bit. You know, you're gonna be more sluggish because your character's taking a beating.
Mhm.
You know, your character second pool gets depleted, they become debilitated. So it's like, okay, they're pretty much like on the ground. They can't do much. Like they're in trouble. And then once the third gets depleted, you're dead. So it's kind of like a resource management kind of thing on the player side. But then the abilities and items that they can collect and find are more fine-tuned to like based on what their character is, instead of being like, okay, you're, you know, you're rogue class, okay, you have this list of abilities that you get. Whereas like this is like,
That's
okay,
good. You have
yeah,
more
so
freedom.
it's more freedom, and it seems really fun, and I hope it works out pretty well. I think it will be really fun. Oh, the one thing I will say this, and I'll get off of this because I, you know, I know not everybody's into tabletop game. I know we are, but how XP works in the Cypher system is meant to not have you hold on to it. So, and also what's interesting is the rulebook actually like says like XP is not necessarily earned through battle, it's earned through experience, like doing things. And like the GM can interfere in like person's task, and then if they choose to overcome it, they get experience. And so let's say like, there's like a small like gap that someone has to jump over, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it's it's like a level 1 difficulty. Like for your character, you have like a feat that lets you, you have a very like, high jump. You've jumped through things all your life and you're good at like acrobatic stuff. You can do that easily. It's like, all right. Well, the GM can come in and have an incursion and be like, hey, while you make this jump, all of a sudden there's a big gust of wind that pushes you back. So it makes you in danger of falling. And then the player can choose to either take this on, and if they succeed, they get experience. Or if they have experience already, they can take away their experience and choose not to do it. Or
interesting. I like that. You could bypass it, sort of.
You can bypass the whole situation, like, nah, I don't want to do that. I am, I'm course correcting on my own accord. But also you can use experience to, of course, like unlock new abilities, upgrade your characters, it's meant so like you're not just collecting experience just to level up, you're collecting experience to enhance your character. Or like
you could like barter with it. You could use it to get a situation or help us. That's cool. I like that. That's a cool concept. I like that.
And so it's really cool. I haven't looked through like the entire PDF of it, but I'm planning to, and hopefully if we have a free day, I would love to, do something with it, like try one of their makeshift campaign or like one shots and like just kind of take it for a test drive and see what works, what doesn't work.
Do it. Well, maybe I think you want to crunch it this weekend, but maybe when I get back, or you could try it when I'm gone too. Sounds fun. Honestly, it leans itself to. I was looking at the pictures and stuff. Like it probably would have been great for like my Mass Effect run, or if you just want to do like a superhero kind of thing, or just maybe even regular D&D. It's probably fun with that too. So
what they like to tout is that this system,
not D&D.
What they like to tout is that this system can be pretty much incorporated into any genre.
See that like
they say it's like a genre free system. Like you can change the name of certain things to fit your style, and then everything just works as it should. It's like, okay. So I thought that was really interesting. So that's
very accessible.
Very accessible. And that's been my a majority of the things I've been doing the past few days. Except I've been playing a shit ton of Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah, that came out. And
Diablo
4 came out today. But yeah, let's talk about Street Fighter 6. Oh yeah, I know. I was thinking about Street Fighter.
But yeah,
tell us about Street Fighter.
Oh boy. Oh, so good. Oh my god, like, so for full disclosure, I have not touched Street Fighter 5. When it came out, I didn't have a PlayStation 4, and it was exclusive to PlayStation 4, so I didn't have access to Street Fighter 5, and at the time, Street Fighter 5 wasn't in a good place. It didn't start getting good until like closer to like season 3, but definitely season 4 and 5, and at that point, I was just kind of like, I'm already this far out of it. I don't want to like jump in like all the way, past Arcade Edition, past like, the tail end of Street Fighter 5, knowing that Street Fighter 6 is probably coming. So I haven't played Street Fighter since like full on since Super 4, and I maybe played a little bit of Ultra, but I haven't played Street Fighter in a long time.
Fernando's shit.
Yeah. So I haven't played in a while. But bruh, Street Fighter 6, I know I'm coming from like a biased opinion, but I can honestly say Street Fighter 6 has the potential to be a runner-up for Game of the Year.
Really, that's bold for a fighting game.
It it pretty much took everything that was wrong with Street Fighter V and then fully loaded this game like head to tail with just so much content, so much good quality gameplay, and just it looks fucking fantastic. Um, so one of the things that was wrong with Street Fighter V is that when it came out, the heads of the Street Fighter team at the time were trying to make it more focused to like a fighting game like a fighting game like tournament like style. It was trying to really pander to like the FGC like tournament um like culture, right? And obviously that didn't work out too well because the game came out and it was had barely any features in it. A lot of stuff was delayed. People weren't happy with the presentation that they were given. So with Street Fighter 6, not only do you have like really solid online gameplay, like to what, it's been since Friday, so it's like 5 days or so since the game's been out, or like
Say 9.
Thursday night. Yeah, I have not had a bad experience online. Like
Nice.
Thursday night was a little bit iffy just because everything was getting so jam packed. But since then, like I've had solid matches online, like I wouldn't say flawless, but I've say like near flawless like matchups online with no problems. The They have a whole suite. They have actually three different suites that you can go from. They have like the basic like AI like campaign. They have like the arcade mode and like they have special matches and stuff like that. And they have their battleground, which is like their online hub where you can go into this hub and like you can have your avatar and like people are at game cabinets playing online matches, or you can have your avatars fight each other, or they even have cabinets that have old Street Fighter games that you can play people on.
Remember that being a feature, yeah.
And that's super sick. And then they have like leaderboards that are popping up, like showing you who's like number one in the server right now, and like a lot of cool stuff. And I don't know if there's any tournaments going on right now, but there is a tournament section, so you can have like game tournaments online, which is sick. And then they have the World Tour mode, which is like, you take your avatar and you can travel the world training with all of like the big like Street Fighter characters, learning their styles, and you're kind of going through a story and stuff like that. And they have like maps so you can roam around. You can just challenge people to a fight, and you can just fight people on the streets because it's Street Fighter and it's fun as shit.
Finally, you can fight people in the street.
But dude, I have I haven't had this much fun with a fighting game since maybe like because I'm an avid Tekken fan. I play Tekken now and again, but Tekken 7's been around for a while, so I still have a lot of fun with it. But like that big rush of like a new game hasn't been around for a bit. So like Street Fighter 6, I feel like it's going to be the start of like a new age for fighting games. Because like what we have, Street Fighter 6 is a fantastic game coming out of the gate. Super great. I love to see hard work paid off. Um, we're getting like Mortal Kombat 1 in a few months, and like Mortal Kombat games always look pretty cool. Because you have the nice graphics because you have the little fatalities and stuff, and Mortal Kombat's always been a good selling fighting game. It's very popular, like with the general audience. It's a classic fighting game series. And then we're getting Tekken 8. We don't have a date yet, but we're getting Tekken 8, and it looks fucking fantastic. It's running on Unreal 5. Street Fighter 6 is running on the RE engine, so this is the first like Street Fighter game on the RE engine, and it looks fucking great. We're getting the Project L from Riot Games sometime soon, hopefully. And that looks like it's going to be a banger ass game. Like we're just having a new era of just like cool ass looking fighting games, But yeah, Street Fighter has been like super dope. I like I have my good days and my bad days. I've had some good nights having some solid matches where I'm just kicking butt with Ken. And then there's some nights where I just get my ass handed to me by, what I assume is probably a 12-year-old that's way better at the game than I am.
Summer break, man.
Summer break. But yeah, I'm having fun. So for Street Fighter 6, they implemented, like, they have the classic controls, but now they have what they call modern controls. And it's like a new simplified version of like Street Fighter like game mechanics, right? So you remember Street Fighter, like you have the three punch, like light, medium, heavy punches, and then you have the
Yeah.
kicks, and you have to do like the stick motions and the button combos to like do your moves, right?
Pretty classic, yeah.
So that's still there. For modern though, it's a, relatively speaking, it's a 3-button layout. You have your lights, you have your mediums, and you have your heavies. So it makes it simple. Like, okay, that's my light, that's my medium, that's my heavy.
Yeah.
Now you can't do exactly everything because you can't choose whether it's a punch or a kick. It's just based off, what they give you for that character, right? But they give you a special button. So think like Smash Brothers. Like Smash Brothers has like the bees.
Versal edge.
So it's kind of like that. So you can pull off your specials with just a button and a direction. And it's like, oh, you could just, for PlayStation, you press triangle, you could do a Hadouken. Or you can do, a Yoga Fire or whatever, You can do any kind of special move. And then it's a 2-button combo and a direction if you want to do your specials, like your supers and stuff like that. And it's like, it's super simple. And then they have like a new system, like it was just the drives where, you could do like a heavy counter attack or something like that, or you can do like a block or something, or like a dash. And it's cool mechanics, and it's definitely something you kind of have to work with, but it's not difficult. Like you work at it and you start getting it pretty quickly, which is nice. It's not something that you have to like punish yourself over to like get into like the door, right? You can walk into the door right away with modern controls and you could just go. I literally played my first match with modern controls and I was just I was having a grand old time. I was having a blast. So basically what I'm saying is that one of these days soon, Joel, you and me, wherever, we will do this live, we should go a few rounds in Street Fighter and just have a fun time. No. But you can just come over, we can just play here on my PlayStation.
All right. I gotta get back in the game. Gotta warm up with some Soul Calibur. Waiting on 7 in wherever 3 or 5 years from now. I've been, growing up, we had a Super Nintendo. We had like a Hunt for Red October game, an Ultraman game. There's an Avengers game. But we also had Super Street Fighter 2. And I was tough for 5 or 6-year-old me trying to fight Zangief and M. Bison and whatever. I was like, Sonic Boom, and I was like, but so
how do I do it?
Exactly. I think hearing all those Yoga Fire, Yoga Flames, and Vegas, so I think you're right. We're doing. You have the fight stick though, so I don't know. I gotta get familiar.
So what's interesting, Joel? I haven't used it at all yet.
Really? I thought. Damn.
The control, like they have fine-tuned the controls so well that you can literally just use a controller.
Wow.
Now, I do intend to try it out on my stick, but like literally using a PS5 controller, I haven't had any problems.
Is it crossplay?
It should be.
Okay, good.
PlayStation, right. Xbox,
Console
PC.
Wars back.
But yeah, I
accept that challenge. I come back.
I am back in. I am back in the Street Fighter. I'm not going to be good at it. I can already tell. I'm not going to be good at it, but I'm going to have a lot of fun.
Shitty avatars, dog. I already saw that one guy who had like a motorcycle helmet that was no legs, all arms.
Some of the most Cronenbergian fucking monstrosities. People with like pencil thin legs and like no torso and just like a fucking donut body walking around with their fucking chromed out skin. It's like, oh, you could find some hideous monsters in the battlegrounds. It's perfection. It's perfection. But yeah, besides that, that's pretty much all I've been doing. We of course we went to Fanime and like stuff like that. And that was cool. That was fun. Can't really say any more about that because I usually for conventions like that, I kind of just use it as an excuse to buy things.
Yeah.
Like go to dealer's hall and stuff
Go
like
there
that.
to spend money.
I did find this really sick, like it was like this ink brush painting of Kaiju number 8. And it was the only person I
Yeah, I
saw
remember.
that did Kaiju number 8 like artwork, and so I had to snag that. It was really sick. I just hung it up the other day, and I love it. Um, but yeah, I've just been chilling. I'm gonna be playing, more games. Gonna be playing more Street Fighter. Gonna be playing more Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
I still am trucking through Ghost of Tsushima. And that's been really fun.
Nice.
I've been actually really loving that. I kind of don't know why I held on to it for as long as I did, because I got it when it released, and that was like in 2020. So I had time to play it, but for some reason I didn't. But I'm in there now. I'm having a blast. I'm just wandering Tsushima, fucking
Yeah.
trying to find a bunch of Mongols to fucking, whip their asses and try to save the island. And that's
Nice.
that's about it for me, dude.
Yeah. Dove back into Sea of Thieves just for a little bit, but
Oh,
trying to
really?
level up the season pass. I got a long way to go in 5 weeks, and 2 of the weeks I'm out. So I'm like, oh fuck, that's some work to do. But yeah, it's still active. Still people pirating. Got my butt kicked by a galleon. I was asleep, but
Oh no,
put up a fight. It's fine.
they bullied you.
We're, they were bad at chasing me, so it's kind of fun. I was having
Oh,
fun.
really? Interesting.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were not a. I was like, you guys just won because I fucked up. Like I crashed into a rock, like trying to do something. I was like,
Oh
ah, fuck.
no.
I was like, oh god,
It
damn it.
wasn't even because of them. It was just your
Yeah,
fuck
it's
up.
like, they did, yeah.
Oh.
But I was also like, fuck it, let's go. I just turned in eventually too. I was like, come on, all right, let's see what you're made of. You're chasing me for this long. I was like, this is it.
This is
They were
Alphatine?
cool. They didn't were like, ha ha ha, you suck. They just killed me and took my stuff. I was like, okay, fine.
Okay.
I respect you just being regular pirates.
That's okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to play more Sea of Thieves.
Still fun. Still
So
pirating.
fun.
They took away the image though, saying new story on the way. It just says now like you did whatever the last adventure we did. It's like congrats on doing the last adventure. They took away the new story soon, I gotta say. I was like,
Oh, okay.
oh, they're whatever they're doing. It's taking a lot of work because they've been pushing it back.
I mean, maybe you know, the Xbox showcase is happening. I think this weekend.
Oh, I wonder if they're
Maybe we'll
waiting.
see. Maybe we'll see what they've been doing. Last time they had a big outing, we got Pirates of the Caribbean shit. Like they've been holding it back for like a little bit now, so it has to be something big. I hope so.
Our flag means death crossover.
That'd be sick. I'd be down. Get some fucking Taika Waititi shit going on. Just have
This is
Taika
a
Waititi
crab.
and Sea of Thieves. And Sea of Thieves.
What's this crab guy? It's like we don't know either. He's here.
I'm supposed to make a Star Wars show,
Right.
No movie.
Movie.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
Not that I could think of. Just like I was mentioned before, Diablo 4 literally came out today, probably last night at 9. I'm curious, but not curious enough. Sorry, Blizzard. Maybe, a couple whenever it's on Game Pass. Never. I'll check it out. I'm sure it'll be. It's a lot of fun. I'm not going to yuck anyone's yum, but just maybe in time I'll actually check it out. It does look pretty clean, but right now.
I mean, I've only been hearing good things from
Right.
people. So, I mean, Diablo's never been my thing, so I'm not going to touch it. But at least it's not Diablo 3. And
Ooh, yeah, I remember. I remember when it came out. I had people on the floor I was like in Santa Cruz, they're like, we're so excited, but we skipped school. We got Diablo 3. They were all playing, but they were also I was like, how is it? They're like, eh. Like, they were so excited, but they were like, eh.
Oh. Well, at least they were able to actually get on it.
Yeah, right.
That was the biggest issue. People couldn't get on the game.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, I think that'll about do it for this episode of the podcast. Sorry, this couldn't be live, so we couldn't talk to you guys directly in the chat like we normally do, but
Yeah.
we'll figure something out. See where our hearts lie for the future. But of course, while we they wait for that stuff, Joel, how else could they possibly communicate with us?
Questions, comments, suggestions, feedback, reasons why you should catch up on Kamen Rider. Tired of us, shitting on Morbius. Why you should watch Ted Lasso or use Glaives for Fun Destiny 2. Hit us with an email, unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. Where is it on this prompt I'm reading? unitedwenerdcast@gmail.com. We're also on Twitter, United_we_nerd. We're on YouTube. We're also on Twitch. Ugh, right? We'll see how that's going to turn up. We still are there, United We Nerd, one word. And of course, we're on Facebook, on the Zuckerverse, and TikTok too. I always forget we're on TikTok. I need to get your password again. I know it's here. I need to try again. I was like blocked for 3 attempts. I don't know if I was doing something wrong. Yeah, I don't know.
That's weird.
It's probably user error. But yeah, check us out there.
Oops.
We're there. And Instagram too. I always forget that last one. We're on Instagram. The videos I could have put on TikTok, I put on Instagram. So I got some more still on the way. There's some footage of us playing with that guy against that guy at Fanime. There's some old Battlefront footage of Brian opening this box from who knows how long ago. So, yeah, so go see some more of our content there. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Usually I try to do like a way back Wednesday or throwback Thursday at the very least. So go find us there. Brian, though, if they want to reach you and challenge you as Guile, Sonic Boom your ass to the next dimension, where can they find you?
Well, I'll dragon kick them to the next dimension, but okay. we could duke it out. Of course, you could hit me up on Twitter, Instagram at Brian_Saber, as well as TikTok and also, I guess, Twitch as well, even though I kind of haven't been on there. I don't know what the future's going to lie, but I definitely will figure that out in the future. But Twitter and Instagram is definitely my most active spots, for sure. What about you, Joel? Where can people find you when you're out in the world?
Mad Mech Monster Mine on SoundCloud has dropped 4 new songs recently. Go check it out. This guy in Belarus, shout out to you. You've been really liking it. Thank you, bro. Wherever you are, I got like a bunch of hits. If they're bots, thank you, robots. Anyway, find me there. Also TikTok, same. Thank you, robots there. Mad Mech Monster Mine. I post a lot of gaming content there once in a while. Some goofy video, lots of Destiny stuff. So if you like Destiny, find my goofball antics there. Or Sea of Thieves. Once in a while, something happens there. And Twitter, Acoustic Avenger, but the I is a 1. Find me there.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, of course, again, sorry this wasn't live, but I hope you guys understand that.
Thank you for waiting. We know it's been a minute.
Thank you for waiting.
We're getting so busy with everything. We are so busy now.
It
just happens.
We got people traveling all over the country. We got, jobs hold us up, but we're gonna find a way. Whatever we do, we always find a way to get you guys up to date what's been going on with us and with the nerd world.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, obviously, you're either listening or watching this on demand, where you could do that, of course, on Twitter and podcast services around the globe. But of course, we appreciate you for supporting this podcast. We couldn't do it without you guys. We love to hear your feedback. We'd love for you to share this. If you're on, a podcast service that allows you to, review and rate, please do. It will really help us out to understand what you guys want to see from us. And of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment, leave a like, maybe subscribe to the channel if you're feeling a little frisky.
Smash that subscribe button.
We know it's kind of weird to do the pandering thing, but hey, you know, we want to be able to have as many nerds here to talk about nerdy ass shit as possible, and we can only do that if you guys, you know, light the beacon, as it were.
Where else will you hear us complain about Tanforan Mall in California?
Yeah, that's true. But of course, until the next time we complain about the Tanforan Mall, remember to always and forever keep on nerding.